If it hurts, you ain't breaks, we'll get you loaded up, put on more speed. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our leading our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, 2 games after this win in. Press you again, here for the first minute. Can everybody keep it there for 6 minutes?
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Just look around. You got the mountains. You got the most beautiful city in the whole entire country. The university is absolutely, looks like it's out of a storybook. It's just beautiful. People are incredibly genuine and extremely nice. It's just a place that obviously I'd want my kids to go to school. And it sells itself. You don't have to sell anything about this place. You just got to get them here. You know, the old field of dreams. Yeah. Build it and they will come. It's already built.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
And yeah, you know, other than that, I think just the fans. I love the fans, the culture here. And yeah, that's pretty much what I chose.
I'm gonna have to get him to start watching my film in the off season too.
Obviously, I watch Coach Hines' old clips. You know, it's kind of like black because they ain't got that. You ain't got
black and white.
You ain't got the black and white film up, man.
I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none. Welcome. Is that good enough? Is that good enough? Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Dauber's in the house. Coach Rice is here. X. You know, X is one of those guys that he calls in sick to work 20 minutes before his shift's supposed to start. He calls in 20 minutes before the shift's supposed to start. So what do? The boss says, well, there's only one man I could call. I got to call the best employee with the business. Coach Jay is in the house. Dauber and Coach Rice are saying, well, wow, I feel real special now. Boogie not only insulted X, but he insulted us too.
I would just leave, guys. I wouldn't take that from him. Just walk out, man. Just get up.
Coach Jay's like, well, y'all bell
put up with this. There. Yeah, there you go.
He's like, well, y'all leave so I can talk more. I got more opportunities to talk. Man, look, put up the bat signal. Coach Jay's always down to jump on. Plus, we got Ben McKee. Ben McKee's going to be in the house on Friday morning. So I told Coach Jay, I said, X is out. Come on, hang out. Let's get into it. He said, I'm down, Boogie. I'm down. Boys, it's hard. It is hard to believe we sit here on a Wednesday night. We got 3 football games left. 3 football games left. We're 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving, man. Dauber, you a Thanksgiving guy? What's your go-to? What's your go-to Thanksgiving meal?
Man, I like everything. I like the couple days after Thanksgiving having a cold turkey sandwich.
I don't even really like turkey, but the leftover turkey, that's where it's at.
we all gonna be salivating the rest of the show just thinking about Thanksgiving food. The rest of it. You give me some sweet potato casserole and homemade applesauce with the turkey and the dressing with the gravy on the side, and then you give me some deviled eggs and
dude, deviled eggs. You know you're fat when Facebook recommends recipes to you all the time.
Heck yeah.
Deep fried deviled eggs.
Oh, that sounds
so
good.
You get the yolks out right, and you make them just like you do normal deviled eggs. But then you take the egg white, slice them in half, roll them in that batter, deep fry them, then put the inside back in. I got to try that.
Delicious.
Oh, I'm down for that. What about you, Coach Jay? Do they celebrate Thanksgiving in California or no? I'm not sure what y'all do in that country.
No, we don't celebrate your colonialism holiday of no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I love Thanksgiving, man. What you talking about? Yeah, no, my family, yeah, just standard Thanksgiving stuff for sure, turkey stuff and all that good stuff. But we're mostly Irish, but there's a small amount of Dutch in our family, and there's this long surviving like dumpling recipe that is always only made like Thanksgiving with my family. And I don't know, there's just something about it because everyone be making it the night before, you know what I mean, spending time with the family, and it's just something the way that Dutch dumpling goes with like the turkey and stuffing and biscuit, and it just kind of brings everything together. But I did see a new recipe that looked good where someone spatchcocked the turkey, put stuffing in the middle, rolled it, tied it, and deep fried it, and oh man, it looked good. I was salivating.
Oh, the talking turkeys here. Balls girl says make turkey pot pies with leftover turkey. Dude, that sounds good too. That sounds good. Man, I'm
hungry.
Talking Thanksgiving around here. Foul Ming in the chat says, by the way, sorry, Boog, totally forgot what day it was. Foul Ming's messaging me on Twitter as I'm sending you all the link, and he's like, hey, man, can you do me a favor and reach out to Banjo? Trying to play my game. I'm like, bro, I'm going live in like 6 minutes. No, I can't. But we'll take care of that shortly. Let me catch up with you guys. Scotty Oates been a member of the channel for 7 months. We appreciate that. Gaston Moore leading Tennessee to victory Saturday is going to be absolutely wild. We're going to talk about Gaston Moore. We're going to talk about Nico's injury. We're going to talk about the opportunity this football team has in front of them on Saturday night. Bass Fisher for 5 says, Dorfy, I feel like Coach H playing mind games as Georgia and Nico will be playing. Thanks for all you guys do. Love this channel. Thank you, Bass Fisher. We appreciate the super chat. Low down dirty snitch for 10. Since the Saban era started, only 2 teams have beat both Alabama and Georgia in the same season. Both won a national championship. 2010 Auburn, 2019 LSU. I want to be in that group. GBO. Well, you guys know I keep talking about the defense and not giving up 20 points or more. We're in some elite company. We'll see. We got a big opportunity, boys, but we got to go take care of business. Wyatt Compton for 5, checking in from the USS Carl Vinson station in San Diego. Any updates on the Polynesian Prince and Nico? We're going to go through it all. And by the way, thank you for your service, but we will get it. We're going to go through it. We're going to tell a story to you guys about Nico tonight. Peyton K for 10. Try not to be so negative tonight, Coach Rice. We
Shots fired.
GBO. Oh, man. Somebody, who was it? It was a show that Coach Rice, you weren't on. It may have been post game. I don't remember what it was. Somebody came in and said, burn it down, just like Coach Rice would.
Yeah.
I was like, holy cow. Shane Hastings for 5. Nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. Thank you, Shane. We appreciate it. Come on in, pull up a chair, smash that thumbs up, share out the link, let somebody know we're live. We got 250 watching live. This game Saturday is so big. We got to get more than 250. Share the link out. Let people know we're live. Let's talk about it, Dauber. How big of an opportunity is this? I think I said Monday morning with Kaner, this might be the biggest game of Josh Heupel's career. I know 2022, that Georgia game was pretty dang big. You were number 1 in the college football playoff rankings. We know how that went, but dang it, man. This seems like a big one to me. You win, you're going to Atlanta. You're going to the college football playoff. Everything is on the line Saturday.
It is a huge game. You can't understate it. I just find it funny and trivial that it's a must win for the playoffs for us. It is what a lot of the talk and traction is. When you've already got teams sitting at 2 losses and they're projected higher and a better shot to get in the playoffs than we are with one loss right now. There is such a bias, and I'm sitting here with my orange colored glasses on, and but it's not anything that we don't know. I mean, it's always been that way. The national media, I don't know what it is, but we can't ever get the love when we're good, and they pile on when things are bad, and the Bama bias, like Fao Ming's saying, it's crazy. I know one of the things that I saw today was talking about BYU and Indiana and their rankings ahead, and the reasons given were that Tennessee's offense has just been inconsistent. Well, it doesn't matter. It's not the BCS anymore. You don't have to put up style points. The biggest thing is the W, and you got to look at the competition. And we're playing in big boy football in the SEC. So I think regardless of that, Saturday is a huge game, and we go out and take care of business. It takes care of itself.
Coach Ross, what do you think? What do you think about the stage? Like how big this is for Tennessee?
Oh, it's
Saturday?
massive. It's massive. I mean, not only for the situation at hand as far as the playoffs and SEC championship, but for recruits, just for the outlook on the future of the program, the Coach Heupel's legacy. Like you think about it, he has a chance to do something that no one's done since former, and that's beat Georgia, Florida, and Bama in the same year. And so, like, you think about all the measurables when we talk about Tennessee head coaches, that that's cream of the crop there if he was to do it. So, and then getting into like the actual game itself, like if we win, I mean, you're setting yourself up for obviously playoffs, and then you're pretty much guaranteed SEC championship. Not all the way, but it's like 90%. I was looking at.
I think you're guaranteed both, man. Like because Texas and Texas A&M play each other. You got to go beat Vanderbilt. I'm sorry, I get it. You can't look ahead. We're going to beat Vanderbilt. If we beat Georgia, we're beating Vanderbilt.
Even if we yeah, I got you. But there's just so much into this game, whether it be who's the next player to step up, in this game and show up to where it takes us over the top for us to beat Georgia. And then, getting into the playoff picture, it's like if you go win this game, it all takes care of itself. I do think it's an elimination game as much as I hate it, because the media showed Tuesday night or last night how much biased and how much they don't want Tennessee in it. It's just is what it is. I think they're going to do anything in their power to have Bama, and then I want, even though I don't really like Ohio State, I want them to blow Indiana out so bad next week, because they have the 122nd ranked strength of schedule right now. And then BYU, don't even get me on them. I hate Colorado, but I hope Colorado blows them out too. So, like, just give them some actual matchups. I saw someone post on there. Put Georgia and Indiana on a neutral field.
Yeah.
We saw what Florida State happened. Like, hold on, I didn't mention that. But I mean, just it's unreal, the bias and the hate for Tennessee that ESPN and these committees show. It's just unreal.
Yeah. Look, what did I text last night, Boogie, when you were playing the game? When the ranking came out, I was like, they let Indiana and BYU jump them so they can make a case to keep us out, right?
Yep.
I don't know if I'm willing to go as far as to say it's an elimination game yet. And I get everyone's worry, and I'm worried too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that, but I don't think Indiana is close with Ohio State this weekend. I don't think BYU.
Next weekend.
Yeah, the weekend. Sorry about that. Yeah, by next game is what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I don't think BYU makes it out of their next slate of 3 undefeated either before they get to the next championship game. Arizona State's been particularly tough at night at home, and that's a night game for them. And you kind of need to be able to throw the pill in order to beat YU. Arizona State does that really well. BYU's offense is struggling. I don't see them making out of that alive. I just think there's still some football to be played here. I know the Trojans don't look particularly good, but they're always tough in that rivalry matchup against Notre Dame, particularly when they are at home, no matter what records may be in that game. So there's a little bit of wiggle room there as well, I would say. But look, you don't want to be in that situation, and you have a great opportunity in front of you, as you mentioned, Coach Rice, as Coach Heupel has in front of them today. This team does too. I'm sure they're all a little more serious this week, and there's a little more business type attitude around the complexes. And I think we got a real chance to win this game. I understand a lot of people are uneasy about this game, but it's right there.
Don't show the text messages. Don't show the text messages.
I wasn't going to say anything, but you out yourself over here. Look, but I'm kind of neutral about it. I think we can go out there and win this game. I think we have the best chance to win this game than we've had in the last 4 years, easily, real easily. And I like our odds. I do. I like our odds. I don't want to get into the exact X's and O's of it too much because we're getting ready to do a game preview here. But I do. I like where the Vols sit. I like it a lot better if Nico plays, obviously. Don't get me wrong.
A lot better if it was in Knoxville.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the way Heupel's played on the road, right? You have to feel that way. But here's the thing, Dauber. Eventually, if Heupel's going to get it done here at Tennessee, eventually he's got to break through that, right? Like, eventually you got to bite down and find a way to get that done. Might as well be Saturday, right? All I was going to say is I said it the other week, and Coach, you could probably say this. Sometimes with teams, when they're close to clicking, they do it when you least expect them to. And I said that the last couple weeks, and man, wouldn't it be fun if we had a big party on their home field come Saturday night?
Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, and I was, y'all probably saw me go off on that Elliott dude on Twitter over his playoff bracket.
I made a full video on it. I wish I'd seen. I didn't see your reaction. I wish I had. I would have, but I would have included it in my video, but I didn't see it. That's hilarious.
It's a joke because his reasoning behind why Indiana and BYU is over Tennessee, he didn't give he didn't give an explanation at all. He said Tennessee lost to Arkansas. So what?
Yeah, and
then someone mentioned Indiana's 122nd strength of schedule. So what? He just
that was the thing when people gave counter arguments. They gave good counter arguments, and he had no answer for it.
They're playing good ball because they're playing sorry ass teams at point blank. And then the other one, BYU, they just struggled with a quarterbackless Utah team that's not playing good ball right now, other than maybe on the defensive side of the ball. And then he says, "Well, Tennessee's." So you're just forgetting that we're still top 10 in total. I mean, top 15 in total offense, and we're number 5 defense in the country. Like, just forget everything that we've done up to this point, and we've beaten who you think is the best team in the country.
Who lost to Vanderbilt?
Like, we should also have a win over too. We should have a win over the team that they're calling the best team in the country and the team that beat them. And I know Tennessee's got to go do it, but I'm telling you, boys, we're not losing to Vanderbilt.
And then the last thing I'll say, like, I guess they're just forgetting Notre Dame lost to NIU. and then who Ole Miss lost to Kentucky. Like it just his points are so blank and clueless. Just I don't know who's worse, him or Heather Dinich. I mean, they're both stupid.
I don't know, man. She may be worse. She's pretty stupid. All right, let me catch up with you guys in the chat. We're about to hit 400 watching live. Let me say this: we give away a free shirt every month to a member of the channel. We'll probably do that next Wednesday. So if you're not a member, think about hitting that join button. You can do it for $1 a month. We give away a shirt to a member every single month. Let's get 500. Can we get 500 people in here? If there's 400 people watching live right now. If everybody takes 2 seconds, hit share, hit Twitter, hit share, hit Facebook, blast it out, let people know. We get to 500 people, we'll give away a free shirt tonight. Why not? It's the Christmas season. Is it Christmas season? It is, right? As soon as Halloween's over, it's Christmas season, right?
Yeah.
I just bought a shirt. And again, advertising works. And again, I'm fat because listen to what this it's the car from Christmas Vacation with a Christmas tree cake, like the Little Debbie Christmas tree cake tied to the top of it. I had to have it. I also saw a fun meme. Is this fat dude eating a Christmas tree cake, and it said, "Me enjoying my last little bit of red 40, green 5, yellow 8 before RDA takes it all away," or RDK. What's his name? Kennedy.
RFK.
RFK.
I'm struggling. He's gonna take away our Christmas tree cakes. That's all right. It's all right. Little Spooky for 2 says Brooks picks off Beck and Lott knocks him out. Sign me up for that. Billy Todd for 2 says Dorfy FUGA. We appreciate you, Billy Todd. Justin becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Justin. We appreciate you. Matt Marr has been a member for 25 months. We appreciate Matt. Says I've been saying this for a while about the Arkansas loss. By season's end, they could very well have a better record than Vandy. Which is the worst loss? Then they'll find a way to spin it, Matt. Don't worry, they will find a way to spin it. They always do. Tyler Maxwell for 5, not going to burn it down. This is who I was talking about.
Yeah.
Tyler says not going to burn it down. This victory is the biggest win on the season for any school when we pull it out. FUGA. I'm nervous and pumped. Go big, damn orange. Timothy McGee for 5. Yes, the players have to pull up their bootstraps, I bet he means, and get it done. It's not on the coaches. Players are getting paid now. More excuses. Sean Cross for 5 says, I made it in. You didn't last night, you coward. You didn't make it in last night, you coward, but I'm glad you're here tonight. Thank you for the super chat. Bleed Orange for 5. Dorfy, history about to repeat itself. We're about to see a Nico D. Samp nail boot. GBO, Howdy Boogie, and the coaches. Dauber, kick rocks, bro. Kick rocks. I don't know that I can handle another game like that one. But I'll take a dub however we can get it. Peyton for 5. Love the positivity, Coach Rice. See, I'm telling y'all, me and Dauber have been telling you guys for weeks, he's just like JP. You don't want to talk to Coach Rice on game day. You want to talk to Coach Rice around midweek. Once he's had time to let things settle, calm down, let the blood pressure come down, and think a little analytically, he'll come back to us, I promise. Adrian Wells been a member for 19 months. We appreciate that. Jamie Roberts for 2. Dorfy. What's up, fellas? Appreciate you, Jamie. Big Papa drops a 20 spot. That's an orange boy. I like orange boys because I get to come in here and play the clip.
Rocky Top!
I also get to go in and update the leaderboard because Big Papa dropping the biggest donation of the night. We appreciate you. Also, shout out to Stevie J for the biggest donation of the month with a hundo. Who's got the biggest donation of the year? Do I have that on there somewhere? Biggest donation. Where? Oh, Michelle. Oh, because it was Fisher House. She donated almost $2,500 during the Fisher House Foundation. James Moody has the biggest donation to us for $2,000. That was when Tennessee beat Alabama in 22. He signed on to 4 different accounts because the max is 500. He's like, Boogie, I'm dropping 2,000. Shout out James Moody. Where you been, bro? I'm not seeing James Moody in a minute. Big Papa for 20. Here is a question I can't figure out. No one even questions. Why is Texas even in the top 10? They have not beaten anyone.
That's the one that I will say passes the eye test, though. Like
their defense is legit.
Their defense is legit, and their offense is good too. That's the only team on all 10 of those that I will say passes the eye test, and they play who they're given. Like it's like us. I mean, you play who you're given. So like you go out and handle business. Do you pass the eye test? Indiana hasn't played anybody. Do they, when you go look at player by player, do they actually pass that? Can they go out and compete against the SEC and Big Ten elites? We'll find out next week when they play Ohio State.
Coach Ross, you nailed it. There's no way we're getting this done in an hour. We're not even to the first topic yet, and we're 30 minutes into the show. Sean Brown becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Sean. We appreciate you, brother. Seth, for 2. Cue up father versus son rivalry week for me. Paul Lindsay for 10 says, everybody going to get some Becky. We're going to call him Becky. We call him Becky. I could live with that. We can call him Becky if you want. I think that's going to be a big key to the game. If Tennessee can get pressure on Beck, force him to make mistakes, that's going to be huge. Everybody has been asking about Nico. We're almost 30 minutes into the show. Is Nico going to play? What's the update? What's going on? What's the status? The injury report comes out at 8:15 on Wednesday nights, and then they update it on Thursday, Friday, and then again 90 minutes before kickoff on Saturday. So the actual injury report is not going to come out till 8:15, but spoiler alert, y'all probably aren't going to learn nothing. We were talking about it a little bit in the back room before we went live. For me, if it's probable, I feel good. If it's questionable, I've got concerns. But let me tell y'all a story. I'm going to walk you guys through it, and I've been doing this via video, but I also want to do it in the live stream just to kind of set the stage of where we're at. Bleed Orange for 5 says, my bad, Dauber, what's up? I hit send prematurely. Please forgive me and don't hack my internet. GBO. Dauber's internet's fixed, man. He fixed it. It's clean. Let's walk through this Nico injury report. Everybody knows what happened. Got banged up. Gaston Moore starts the second half. Nico never comes out. This is Josh Heupel post game when he is asked about Nico. And just I want you guys to read the body language, the way he acts during these press conferences. So he's asked about Nico.
You're going to get right to the point, huh?
Yeah. Playoff committee will want to know.
We anticipate having him ready for next week. So precautionary measure at halftime, and so feel like we'll be ready to roll next Saturday.
So again, precautionary. We expect him to be ready next week. I think if I'm the head ball coach and I think that my quarterback may be out for the season or he may be out for the Georgia game, I don't think I'm laughing and chuckling and lighthearted. We've seen Josh Heupel full of piss and vinegar. So that's post game, laughing, lighthearted. We expect him back. This is Monday when Josh Heupel meets with the media for the first time after the game.
We'll just get it out of the way. Nico, thumbs up, thumbs down. Where are we at with this thing?
Yeah, he was with us today. Had a really good day. Feel like he'll be in great shape for Saturday. But you guys can monitor the whatever the report is that comes out on Wednesday and track it through the week. But certainly feel like he'll be in a good spot.
So again, he was with us today. And one of my favorite comments as I've been covering this throughout the week was he was with us today means that Nico is alive and has a heartbeat. I thought that was hilarious because it's like you can spin that so many different ways. So that's Josh Heupel post game. That's Josh Heupel Monday. And then last night while I'm streaming NCAA, everybody's flooding into the chat and they're saying, Boogie, Josh Pate just said that Nico's out. Nico's not playing. He's reporting it right now live. I'm like, boys, I got a 3rd and 6 against Matthew Watson. I can't lose to him. I'm 2-1 against him. I got to focus. I said I'll touch on it in the morning. And when I start digging and I start getting into it, this is where it all comes from. The Bear used to be on College Game Day reports Nico is not expected to play against Georgia due to a concussion. Let's hear what the Bear has to say.
And that being said, I don't know what you have heard about Nico Iamaleava playing this week. I have heard that it was a bad concussion, and people that I've spoken to do not believe that he is going to play. We'll see what happens. Josh Heupel certainly offered a different tune, as you would expect him to do early in the week, to probably just have Georgia prepare as if Nico were going to play, have the college football playoff selection committee prepare to rank them as they were going to have their starting quarterback for this game. So, I mean, look, maybe my intel is wrong, and maybe he is fine, and hopefully for his sake and the health of him in the long-term future, I hope that it wasn't a bad concussion. I hope he is okay, and I hope college football fans get to see him out there on Saturday. I'm sure some Georgia fans probably don't necessarily want to see him, but that still being said, he has struggled.
So not expected to play according to the Bear. What happens from there? Pete Thamel tweets out and says that Nico's in concussion protocol after leaving the Mississippi State game last week with an injury and not returning to the sideline. He did dress and practice on Tuesday, and his status for the Georgia game is undetermined. He follows it up, says Tennessee coach Josh Heupel has been optimistic about his availability for the Georgia game, pointing out that he was at practice Monday. Heupel said he's in great shape to play in the game. Shannon Terry, the founder of On3.com, quote tweeted this clip from the Bear and said he's playing. Now, Austin Price, he's the GOAT. That's what I told everybody last night. I said, well, what's Austin saying? He's not said anything yet. So Austin yesterday evening said that Nico was on the practice field. Bad concussions normally don't result in being out doing indie work, independent drills, endos, right? Routes on air, whatever you want to call it. Bad concussions normally result in being in a dark room. Will he play? I don't know. But I think it's too early to say one way or the other. Now, this morning, Austin Price says, I've made some calls this morning. Nico has done more this morning than he did yesterday, which includes some team periods. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that those team periods are no contact. He goes on to say that's a move in the right direction. Things are trending on this Wednesday, but I will obviously need to avoid a setback. So again, I think that's no contact. AP went on to say they're piping in crowd noise. They got speakers pointed right at the offense. So, Coach Jay, I'm going to let you go first. I've already told Coach Jay, if you know something, don't tell me, don't tell the boys, don't tell the chat. Keep it to yourself, but you can also come in and make your comments. And he said, I got you. I can do it. I can keep things that I know quiet if I do know something. I'm still trying to – y'all think we should press Coach Jay? Coach Jay, what do you know? Just how you feeling right now?
Where were you on September 9th?
Yeah.
Where were you on November the 12th at 3:13 p.m. Eastern time?
Gosh, I don't know. I listen. Let me just say this, okay? Like, it's hard not to yell BS when you hear it, right? And you, but but like you said, Boogie, there's certain things I don't want to speak about, but I will say this: if you just, and anyone can do this. This isn't quantum physics. I'm not giving up anything here. If you just go Google regular percussion call for a low grade concussion, the steps that you just announced, that Heupel announced, and through practice and through the progression of what they're doing, is following there's 5 steps. Each step has a 24-hour wait period before you progress forward. It seems like we are on pace for those steps to be executed. If that's the case, we should have an answer sometime between, well, with Heupel, you probably won't have an answer, but that they would have an answer sometime between Thursday night and Friday morning with that timeline, if we're to assume that it's a low-grade concussion.
Well, there's definitely a reason. I mean, there's obviously a reason why he's no longer on game day. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, dude, I mean, I get he may have some sources, but like, I don't know who from Tennessee would give him any valuable information about the status of Nico. And if there's any way I'm going to trust other than Coach Heupel, and that's questionable sometimes too, as far as injury status, is Austin Price. And so I'm going to take it at his word that it's a process. He's making the steps needed. We'll get a little bit of a glimpse tonight on the injury report, like Boogie said, of questionable, probable. I'd feel a little better about probable. But I just think, me and you talked about it, Coach Jay, the other day. When it comes to concussions, it's all about how an individual's body reacts. It's different for everybody. It's not something where you can put it down, he's going to be okay in a week. It's just not like that. And it's also different for people who's had multiple concussions. So I think given the attitude of Coach Heupel, given from what we've heard, as long as there's no setbacks, that's the key. These concussions, they're weird. You can feel like you're feeling great for 5 days and on track, and then all of a sudden the 6th day it's like your head starts hurting bad, and it can have a setback. So they have to make sure they go through the right process. And it's like I told someone today at work, you're not really going to know until that first whistle blows. I mean, it's just you're not. And you got to see how he's going to react to all the, being in Athens with the crowd noise and every actual real crowd noise, and seeing how that reacts. So it's a lot that's going into it, but I definitely think it's a game changer.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We talked about it Saturday post game, and went round and round, and everybody wants to play doctor and guess what's wrong when something happens, and then everybody wants to play trainer and doctor and say, oh well, it's not that bad, or it's terrible. It's career ending. He won't play again. Blah blah blah. Everything that you said, Coach Rice, and you too, Coach Jay, is dead on. There's not one mainstream media, one source out there that is inside the locker room, inside the training room, that knows what's going on. They heard from a friend who heard from a friend who heard from a friend whose cousin does this or that, and they change the trash bags out in the athletic center. So, I mean, it's that there is obviously something wrong, whether banged up just a little bit, and I wouldn't put it past Heupel to have a little gamesmanship and maybe be working something a little bit, but I'm not sold on like full on. There's nothing wrong. It's straight conspiracy. He's just fleecing everybody because you don't do that with somebody's their health and well-being. You don't. That's going too far.
Especially not an $8 million quarterback.
Yeah. And I think that
allegedly.
Because of Nico and his alleged NIL, that's an investment. So there had to be something that was wrong that kept him from coming back out on the field against Mississippi State. You don't. I don't care if who you're playing. You're playing a conference opponent, and you're only up at that point 1-2 scores. And it should have been 1 because they should have gone for 2. So I mean, that game was not salted away. It was not decided at any point. Why would you sit your starting quarterback in a conference game when you have everything to play for? So I do think that there is something ailing Nico. And listen, we don't even know if it's a concussion. Seriously though. I mean, unless it comes out and they said, okay, he's in concussion protocol, it's all rumors and hearsay. So,
I think all signs indicate concussion.
It does. It does.
Like I have the confidence to say that. Like, I agree with what you're saying. Like it's not been laid out for us and told to, but
I'm just saying laws of deduction. And Coach Rice can answer this quick. Coach Rice, is he out there with a grade 3 concussion practicing this week? Is he out there with a grade 2 concussion practicing this week? Okay, well then, what are we talking about? We're talking about a grade 1 mild concussion. It's going to be a 5-day protocol, and if he fails it, the time clock starts over. You don't go back one step.
No. And that's exactly what we said via text message.
Understand that?
Like,
yeah.
Me and Coach Jay were texting earlier tonight, and I was like, the fact that he was on the practice field tonight, going through team, even though it's no contact, gives me encouragement. Like if he was not going through that team period, then I would be concerned. That shows me he is trending. Man, I just use the same word AP used. Trending. That encourages
doesn't mean he's playing. It just means he's trending the right way. Like Coach Rice said, concussions, there's step backs all the time with kids you deal with concussions, and you think they're going to be play and be fine, and then they are until they're not, right? Until that final clearance of protocol happens. So we're just gonna have to wait and be a little bit patient. And I know that's hard for everyone right now on the cusp of a really big damn game.
Yeah. Let me catch up with you guys in the chat. Bobby J. Heibel, member for 18 months. Our defense is so good this year that our offense needs to be 75% of full potential to win. Gaston can do it if need be. Samson Rolls, GBO. Spoiler alert for what's coming next. Gaston Moore. Christopher Wellborn becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Christopher. We appreciate that. You guys can do it. It's $1. Hit the join button, man. Get in where you fit in. Get those power T's beside your name. I try to highlight your all's comments. We're up to 451 people watching live. We get to 500. I'm giving away a free t-shirt tonight to somebody in the chat. We're going to elect a winner tonight. We're not going to wait. We're not going to say come back and leave a comment, all that fun YouTube stuff I do. We're going to give away a shirt to somebody in the chat. So hit that share button. Adrian Wells for 5 says game prediction 28-14 Tennessee. Big game from Squirrel. And Dante 4 sacks, 2 interceptions. I think we're going to be able to provide some pressure on Carson Beck. John Mills for 5. Had a feeling all week. Balls by 3 in an ugly game regardless of QBGBO. Thank you, John. We appreciate you. Tina Fuller becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Tina. She's an admin over at the Checkerboard Facebook group. Go check out. Is it the Tennessee Checkerboards? I got to get the exact name so you guys can go find it. The Checkerboard. Go look up the Checkerboard Facebook group. They do a great job over there. Go check them out. Shout out, Tina. Appreciate you supporting the channel the way that you do. Trenton Lund becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Trenton. Also, Bob has been a member for 16 months, says it's possible that Nico didn't have a concussion after all. They're just taking precautions to play with the media because we know Coach Josh Heibel loves playing with them. There's a reason he didn't come back out in the second half. So based on what you're saying, and then go to what Coach Jay just said, and Coach Rice confirmed low-grade concussions versus a severe concussion, right? So I think he's in concussion protocol because he didn't come back out. You're not sending Gaston Moore out in an SEC game when you've got everything on the line.
No.
You're not doing that unless Nico can't go. Andrew N drops a 50. That's a big boy. That's the biggest super chat of the night. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Andrew for 50 says, dropping 50 because I make stupid financial decisions when I'm nervous. Well, I like when your stupid financial decisions benefit the channel. However, don't ever drop a super chat or join the channel if you are not financially fit to do that. However, I appreciate this. He says, Coach Jay, Coach Rice, Dauber, I guess we'll see ourselves out.
We'll set this one out.
You want to go grab a drink or something? We can just.
There you go.
I mean, I can be at your house in 10 minutes. We can just get off camera, let these two idiots talk, and answer Andrew's question. That sounds good to me. He says, how does Nico not let this environment and hype around this game get to him? Let's go get a huge dub for Nico and get the road monkey off our back. Coach Jay, Coach Rice, go ahead and answer the question.
Coach Jay, you can go first.
For me, it's just about, preparation. I like to say when there's a big game, aim small, miss small, right? Like create a target in front of your face, create your goals, and aim small at those goals, right? Don't, if you go in there worried about every single problem that you have to solve in this game, then pressure can start getting to you. Let's focus on execution and focus on our goals. That's how I would try to approach it. What do you say, Coach Rice?
I mean, it's all about the intensity this week in practice. I mean, when I mean intensity, I'm not meaning the physicality of the practice has got to be up. I'm talking about what's your attitude going into this game. Do you not realize that this game's what you've practiced for ever since the end of the last game last year? This game is why you come to Tennessee. This is why you want to be put in these moments to show who you are and who this team is. So, yes, he can be ready for this environment, but it's all about the build up to get ready for this environment. The practice this week, the film room, having his mental sessions with whoever he does that with, that gets him ready in that the right mindset for a game like this. Because I know, I know Coach Jay would probably tell you, coach, especially their QBs, especially the higher school programs, their QBs sometimes need those mental stress coaches that get them ready for moments like this, and not only that, but just be ready to go play and have that 110% for you and your brothers and the power team you're representing. So I think he's more than capable. I think you're obviously going to game plan to get him and the team in the best situations possible, that when they're going into the game, they're feeling confident in what they're supposed to go execute. So there's several ways you can help that out. But Coach Jay will be the first one to tell you, and all four of us can. We 100% without a doubt think Nico's ready for this type of matchup. Like he came to Tennessee for this exact moment, just like the rest of our players did. So I think he's more than ready.
That's why I love the quote from Coach G when he's like, you didn't come here. And this was after the first year. And when they won 7 games, like, we're all excited. It's like, man, we're going in the right direction. And Coach G's like, you don't come to Tennessee to win 7 games. You come here to win SEC championships, national championships. I play that clip all the time because I love it. This morning when I was talking about how big this game was on Saturday, man, I used to love when Fulmer was like, this is why you come to Tennessee. You come to Tennessee for moments like this. And when, the four of us are guilty. People in the chat are guilty if we win. What if we win? If we win, freaking go win. Just go win.
Yep.
This is why you come to Tennessee, whether it's Nico or it's Gaston Moore or D-Samp can't go and we're leaning on Deshaun Bishop or Cam Selden or Peyton Lewis. Next man up. Just go win, man. These are the moments. These are the moments that our kids will be talking about. Like me and Dauber have the conversation all the time, man. The kids that we see at school now, they don't wear Tennessee stuff. They wear Alabama stuff. But guess what? It's not Alabama and Ohio State anymore. It's not Clemson anymore. It's changing. It's Tennessee again because Nico, well, I don't know, Boogie. His class wasn't that strong. He didn't do that great of a job peer recruiting. The hell he didn't. Nico made it cool to come back to Tennessee. Nico was a big part of the foundation of getting Tennessee back where it belongs. Will he win an SEC championship? Will he win a national championship? I don't know, but he's going to go down in history as a guy that helped build this thing back to where it belongs. But it all starts with Josh Heupel. It starts with his coaching staff. This Saturday, Dauber, is why you come to Tennessee.
100%. It's hard to follow that. But
just give me an amen.
Amen.
Preach. It's a big game, and you expect big time players to play in big games. And here's the thing, and I'm going to go on the assumption Nico's playing. What I like is Nico, things are starting to click, and that's what you saw. I mean, you look at the time he did play in the Mississippi State game. Dropping dimes, and it's. I said it a couple weeks ago, and I asked Coach Jay, his thoughts, and he kind of agreed with me. I patted myself on the back a little bit. Nico is uber talented, but even playing in an elite level high school football in California, different. There is a difference in the SEC, and I think, sitting last year, I think helped him to get in the scheme of the offense and all of that. But he's had some games that he's not looked crisp, and he's tried to force some things in the past that his athleticism would allow him to do, because it was so much better than those on the field around him. In the SEC, you're going against dudes that are dudes. The the window to squeeze a ball in tight coverage is so small. And I think the speed of the game, he's starting to get. So I think all things. I think it was Coach Rice earlier that said the way this shapes up. Georgia isn't the Georgia of the last couple of years. Their offense has been struggling. Beck has been struggling.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is not very good.
And they're beat to hell. They are beat to hell.
They're injured.
That's one thing. Our strength is our defense, and especially our front, where we're rotating in fresh guys, and that shows up late in the game. You hang around, you keep it tight, even if Gaston Moore's in. I think we do have a shot. But I think Nico is a baller, and I think if Nico is healthy and cleared to play, I think Nico's going to play, and I think, and I know we've said this multiple times. I think it's this week. I think everything goes, but I do. Things just keep trending forward and positive. You see these glimpses, and man, I'm excited for Saturday, and I do think we really have a chance to go down and get a W in Athens.
I want to come back to what you said about Gaston Moore. We're going to be brief talking about Gaston Moore, and then we're going to go into our official predictions. I had a whole segment on the Heisman. That's not happening. Maybe me and Coach Jay can get to it on Friday morning. We'll see what we get into. Make sure you guys join us, man. Those Friday morning streams are fun. They hit a little bit different. Come hang out. Come join us for that. Ben McKee from Go Balls 247 will be in the house. He's going to hang out for about 30 minutes. I don't know where we're going to go, Coach Jay. Maybe we'll talk about overall season thoughts. We'll see where Ben wants to go. We'll let him kind of drive it a little bit. Jody Farrell gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. We appreciate that. Somebody got a free membership in the chat, so congratulations and thank you, Jody. Wesley Page for 2 says Tennessee wins this game 27-24. I like it. Brock for 10 says I want to see the hit that caused the concussion. The one I've seen, it looked like there's shoulder boys, frowny face. I really don't disagree with this because the hit that everybody's saying doesn't look like a concussion to me. So
are you talking about the one on the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen?
It's from where he landed on the bottom of the screen. It's from where he landed and his head hit
his head bounced off the ground. Yeah.
Usually a lot of times with low grade concussions, it's due to the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jody Farrell also member chat. 47 months. 47 months. How many years is that? Almost 4 years. Took me a while to do some East Tennessee math here. Although, let's have some fun. Why not? Scrolling through Facebook today, and all of a sudden this poll pops up, and it's like, who's your favorite content creator? Vols Deep, Sports Talk Jay, Eric Kane, Clickbait Boogie Bentley. Like it put respect on everybody's name but mine. It was insulting me, and somebody commented and said, bro, why don't you, like, what's your problem with Boogie? And the guy commented back, and he's like, all he does is clickbait, and we told him. Who's first of all, who's we? Like, who's we? We told him that all he does is clickbait, and he came back at us, and he yelled at us, and he told us that we were liars. I'm like, I don't even know who you are, so I would love to see this conversation. And then he goes on to say, he lives in Cookeville, so he never goes to the games. He's not a real fan. Dauber, did you know that I lived? Did you know I lived in Cookeville, Dauber?
Well,
did you know?
If you're in Cookeville, you're not getting
that where I went
house
to
in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I was like, is that where I drove to?
Yeah, I don't think you were in Cookeville, Coach Jay.
I don't. My MapQuest didn't say Cookeville. So
the internet is a hell of a place. I didn't know I lived in Cookeville. I didn't know that I'd never had season tickets. Look, I don't go to games because I have a commitment to this freaking channel and being here to do post games every single Saturday. Yes, I made an exemption because my daughter said, Dad, I want to go to a Tennessee game. I said, we're going to a Tennessee game. Sidetracked there because Jody's been a member for 48 months. We're going to get up by so much Saturday that Navy Schuler plays.
Did you see Adrian's comment? He said you missed a super chat.
No.
I don't think I missed his super chat.
Was it $100 one?
No, I got that one coming up.
Okay.
I think I read
All right,
Adrian's
sorry.
super chat.
No,
I read it. He said game prediction 28-14. Tennessee big
Oh,
game
yeah,
from
yeah,
Sproul
you
and
got
Dante,
that,
4
yeah.
sacks, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I read that one. I read that one.
Okay.
Yep.
If you dropped another one, let me know. But I did read that one. I hope we see Navy Schuler. I would love a blowout in Athens. Ralph Keith for 10. Look at that. Look, I love how many of y'all smoking cigars in your. And he's got it. Is that a Talkin VAWLS shirt?
Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Looks like a Talkin VAWLS shirt.
It
Looking forward to
looks like
smoking another victory cigar this Saturday night. Doesn't matter who is quarterback. GBO. Appreciate you, Ralph. Vols going ball for 5. Heibel wants to ruin Kirby's home streak just like Kirby did to us. If it's Gaston, then all gas, no brakes. I have more faith in this team than ever before. I love it. J-Ball for 5. Every team has that game when the offense and defense click on all cylinders. UGA versus fake UT. South Carolina versus Texas A&M. Bama versus LSU. Tennessee has that game this weekend. GBO. Let me tell you, man, I would have had some confidence if not for the Nico injury. That's what I'm telling you. It threw a wrench at me, man. The Nico injury and him, even though he's going through practice and he's limited. Oh, look at that turf. Bro, that is the exact size of the turf that people were tweeting about. You're a liar. You were the one. You're the one.
I didn't. Miss J was the one who came up with it. I didn't even get the
You're
turf.
a liar.
She walked up with this big hooded turf like she was Michael Collins in the 1916 Revolution.
And you with the shovel. You snuck a shovel into Neyland Stadium.
I brought a championship belt
that works like a shovel.
Could be used like a shovel, maybe, but that's not the point, Boogie.
Oh, I love it. Chris McDonald drops a freaking Hondo. We'll play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Freaking hundo, man. That's ridiculous. Thank you, Chris McDonald. Very, very generous super chat. Says Nico got his bell rung. That's it. It's also advantage to Tennessee because Georgia has to prepare for 2 quarterbacks. In any case, I think we still have a path to victory with Gaston behind center because of our defense keeps us in it. Hashtag Boogie for Mayor. Hashtag gimme that shirt. We need 75 people watching live so I can give away a shirt. I need 75 people. Share that link out. Share it. Blast it out on Twitter. Retweet. Blast it out. Say, come hang out. Boogie's going to give away free stuff if y'all come hang out with us. But shout out Chris McDonald. We appreciate you, my man. That is very, very generous. I do want to talk. Everybody's talking about Gaston Moore. I want to talk about Gaston Moore because a certain person on this panel said we would not score a single point if Gaston Moore was in the game. I'm curious if that person still believes that. But this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how this coaching staff believes in Gaston Moore. I want to talk about how this football team believes in Gaston Moore. And somebody tagged me in this on Twitter today and said, Boogie, have you seen this? This was in the locker room at halftime when Coach Heupel lets the team know, hey, 8's out. Gaston Moore's in. And he's got a nickname for him. Listen to the nickname and enjoy it. But watch how this team responds. They don't bat an eye. They're like, let's go win. Gas pipe. Gas pipe's the nickname. Let's take a listen.
8's out right now. Got gas pipe. Let's go play ball. Everybody got me? So, hey, go be our best. All right? You do your job. He'll do his. Let's go, baby.
Hey, let's go, man. Hey, let's go. 30 minutes. We got to go be our damn best right here. Everybody got me? Fast, physical, play smart. Here we go. What team?
Tell you, backwards hat Josh Heupel's a different type of love.
If that don't make you want to run through a brick wall, I'm going to go ahead and put y'all on blast. Y'all don't ever have something to say like that in the locker room. Y'all ain't ever get something. I'm like, let's go, coach. Give me the shoulder pads. I'll play quarterback. Screw Nico. Give me the opportunity. I loved hearing Gaston Moore talk on the Players Lounge. He was like, next man up, man. I prepare for this every single week. He's like, sometimes it's tough. Like Jake's like, what's it like for you prep, you're prepping every single week, not knowing if you're going to get in. And he's like, I have to prepare like I'm the starting guy. And he's like, so sometimes it's tough, man. I got to come home from practice and I got to watch film just in case. And then it's like, you're not the guy, but what if I am called on? I've got to be ready to go. And I just love, man, I love that hype's like, it's not a big deal. It's not emotional. It's not a bunch of whining. It's, hey, 8's out. Gas pipe's in. You give your best. He's going to give his best. Let's go. What's that do to you, Coach Jay? I'm going to make Coach Rice go last. What's that do to you?
I mean, like from a defensive perspective, it fires me up. Like if that happens, number one, like Nico, I got your back. You know what I mean? If I'm a defensive player, I'm going to pick you up. Two, Gaston, I got your back. So it's like you're getting two dudes you loves back in a situation like that, and I think it sharpens you. Certainly, whenever you're in a situation like that and you're down and you're without your full regiment, you're going to bite down a little bit harder. I do think you saw that too. I think this defensive line really got after it, specifically later in that game, and and played hard. Whenever you're down people, man, a defense can bite down. I was in a crooked game once where some refs were pulling some BS and they threw the head coach out, the offensive coordinator out, tossed them both. We pulled the defense together and we had some choice words for those officials. And I'll tell you what, that team was not happy with that set of officials because they went home limping that day, I promise you.
Daubert, what are your thoughts? Gaston Moore plays, Gaston Moore starts. 60 minutes of Gaston Moore. Can Tennessee go win this football game on Saturday night?
I absolutely think they can. Like I said earlier, you've seen this Tennessee team win because of the strength of their defense this year. That's what sets this team apart. They've got a legit defense, and Georgia's been struggling offensively. So I think that alone keeps them in this game. Nico has not lit the world on fire. D. Samp has carried this offense. I know that regardless of whoever plays, Georgia's focus is going to be shutting down the run and stopping Sampson. So that is going to open up some possibilities for Nico or Gaston Moore. I think if you are competent and can manage the game and protect the football, you're in it. Just don't shoot yourself in the foot. Mistakes, turnovers, that's going to be what kills this team and what kills any chance of coming out of Athens with a W.
Coach Rice, you're JP's long lost brother. I'm pretty sure you grew up in the same household as him. You sometimes your emotions get the best of you.
Yep.
And that's why I love you, because you're passionate. However, we sit here on a Wednesday night. Do you still think Tennessee cannot score a single point with Gaston Moore as the quarterback, or do you think they can find a way to get it done? I knew you were going to change your mind. I knew it. I knew it.
If Gaston Moore were to be the QB the whole game, there's going to be ways that Tennessee will be able to score the ball, and maybe we could put together a drive or two. But I think I'm calling it right now. I think the MVP of the game is going to be Boo Carter, because I think he's going to have a punt return for 6.
That's how you can find a way to win with your backup quarterback in there.
And I also think he may have another pick on defense. So I think you're going to see ways, if Gaston Moore is your QB, to put some points on the board. Do I think maybe he can, I mean, I did go back and rewatch that Georgia-Ole Miss game, Monday night after the rewatch. And that was obviously after I had commented. I think there's ways he can maneuver the ball down the field. It's still going to be tough. Don't get me wrong. It will be tough as nails for Gaston Moore, just because I think the way the Georgia defense will play us, he's going to have to make some elite throws that we just haven't been able to see yet. I mean, can he make them? We don't know. I mean, we haven't seen that opportunity. So I think we could go score 10 to 14 points, giving Gaston more a good opportunity. Our defense is going to have to, show out and show up.
Look at Georgia's games this year, though. In conference games where they played a good defense or a defense that has played a good game.
Yeah, they've struggled.
They've struggled.
Kentucky.
One point against Kentucky. Mississippi State, they only beat them by 10. Gave up 31 points to them.
Ole Miss, who has a better defense? Ole Miss or Tennessee? Who's got a better? Ole Miss has a good defense.
It's tight.
I'm not taking away from their defensive line. Yeah. I think Tennessee has a better defensive line. I think Tennessee has a better defense. The difference is playing at Georgia versus playing at home for Ole Miss.
But Florida played Georgia tough.
Yeah.
And it's any given Saturday. I'm telling you. The thing that I like, though, is we've gotten away from, having to score 50 points when we give up 45. Our defense is good enough to keep us in this ball game.
Dang it! Let's let it click. Let's let it click all at the same time.
Well, if it all clicks, then here we go.
Balls by 50. Balls by 50. Let's go into our official predictions. Coach Jay, we're going to go ahead and get your prediction tonight because, Friday in the game day breakdown, you never give it anyway. And so that makes that video real awkward. So we're just going to do it tonight. But let me hit a super chat real quick from Caleb Schultz for Tim. We appreciate you, brother. Says national media pissing me off. No respect. GBO. I said this in my video yesterday. I feel like every other week I make a video that's about disrespect because they don't respect us. In the college football playoff rankings, they're setting us up to lose to Georgia and leave us on the bubble. That's what they're doing. That's why the rankings came out the way that they did. We're going to go into our official predictions for Tennessee and Georgia coming up. But first, I need you all. If you have not yet, there's 430 people watching live. Smash the thumbs up. That is easy, and it helps the channel. Let me tell you something, boys. We're on this chase to 30,000 subscribers. I was looking at analytics today, and it said you have 50,000 people that return to your channel to watch content. 50,000. Where are those 20,000 subscribers? If you watch on TV, if you watch on your phone and you're not subscribed, take 2 seconds, sign into Google and hit subscribe. Drive those numbers up because what that does is it recommends our videos, our live streams to other people. So 50,000 people are coming back here, but less than 30,000 are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. It all helps the channel. Think about joining the channel. All these people in the chat that have a Power T beside their name, they are supporting this channel. It may be $1 a month. It may be $35 a month, but that's what keeps this thing moving forward. We are grateful for that. So make sure you do that as well, or think about doing that. And then you can also go check out the merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Brand new State Pride 2.0 shirts, TriStar with a state outline, also repping the brand Talkin VAWLS Network. God bless. And go where in Nate, I bet Nate's at church. Bro. I started to say, where in the hell is Nate Pruitt? But I bet he's at church, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But this shirt is inspired by good old Nate Pruitt. He signs off every week. God bless and go Vols. You can check that out. VWO, Vol for Life, recruiting with Boogie and the coaches. It is all at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We got rivalry shirts, letter theme shirts. If you haven't figured it out yet, we are a cult. That's why people hate us, because we do something different. We are a cult. Drink the Kool-Aid. Maybe that'll be a shirt. It's all there. Links are in the description to do all that stuff. We appreciate you guys for the support. Coach Rice, I'm putting you on blast first. Make your prediction. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. I tried to figure this out in the video. If ifs, ands, and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. People made fun of me because I didn't know the quote. And then every person that made fun of me told me the quote was different. If ands and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all be merry and bright. We'd all have a Merry Christmas. We would all be happy and blessed. Y'all don't know the quote either. So come at me, bro. Come at me. You're going first. No excuses. You can't say, well, if Nico's here, we win. If Gaston's here, we lose. You got to make your prediction based on what you know right now.
That's unfair, though. Can I not do score predictions?
Nope. I knew you would be the one. It would be you or Dauber.
But we want to
were
make a
Dauber.
Josh Pate prediction. Come on.
No, don't give me that Josh Pate bull crap where you get a way out. You got to make a prediction.
I got a
All
score.
right, so I'm going to say my score prediction first, and then I'll give you why my score prediction is what it is.
He's going to give himself an out.
All right, so
I love it.
All right, so I'm going to go 20-17 Tennessee in a barn burner, ugly game. I think Tennessee finds a way to win, whether it be a pick six. I've already called it. I do think Boo Carter's going to return 1 for 6 on punt return this week. I think defense makes a play there at the end of the game to save the offense's bad play. I do think this is going to be both sides of the ball. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think they're going to pack the box, keep Dylan Sampson out of it. We're going to have to find ways to move the ball and, hit a play here and there. 50-50 ball, whether it be Brew, Dante, if Dante is able to play. That's something I don't think is getting talked about enough. He's the game playmaker on this offense. And then Brazil, hopefully give him a red zone target and see what the tight ends can do. So someone's going to have to make a play that we haven't seen make plays, especially if Dante's out. Defense, step up, keep doing what you're doing, especially if Nico's out. Show everybody why you're the best defense in the country. If it is Gaston, go make some throws. Go hit 2 deep balls. You hit 2 deep balls, I think you give us a chance. And so final score, like I said, Tennessee 20, Georgia 17.
God, I like it. I like it. Dauber, you were chomping at the bit. You about ready to cut off Coach Rice. What's your prediction?
I got a score.
He's ready. Dauber don't need no BS and excuses. He's ready to go.
It is what it is. It's a tight game. I agree with you there, Coach Rice. I'll tell you what, good thing that Max Gilbert got out of his funk last weekend because he's going to be the difference. The defense is going to do enough. Gaston Moore is, if he's in, is going to do enough. Nico, if he's playing, he's going to do enough. And we're going to kick a couple field goals late and win 19-17.
What an interesting score prediction. I like it.
That's a rock fight.
That
rock
19 is one of the weirdest numbers you can ever come up with a score.
But do you all ever look at, like, was it Chris Berman that used to do predictions on ESPN and it was like 12-3? It's like, what in the world are you talking about? Like, what are you basing this on? I feel like that's where Dauber's at. He's like 12-8. 12-8 can be my final score. I'm like, what? Let me catch up with you guys on Super Chat. Shane Hastings becomes a member of the channel. Shout out, Shane. We appreciate you, brother. Knoxville Buckeye for $2.99 says, if a Buckeye can be a member, you can be one too. Man, y'all remember the Carnell Tate? That might have been, I think Carnell Tate was before Coach Rice. It might have just been me and Coach Jay covering recruiting. We talked
about it, yeah.
I have never been hated by a fan base more than Ohio State hated me. They came at me every single day. And then it was like, it almost made it worse that he commits to Ohio State and my stupid voice is in his commitment video. I'm like, this is sabotage. Evan Counts for 2 says, put an LSU whooping on him like we did in Death Valley. Oh my, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we ran them out of Athens like we did LSU?
All I know, we better be number 2 if that happens.
Better be number 1 if that happens. Who you gonna put at number 1?
I don't see us jumping Oregon because
they're undefeated. They're undefeated.
I know that's what I'm saying. Jumping
my math checks out.
Oh Lord, how many field goals you got in that match?
What you got?
Dauber's got a calculator out while we're talking. He's like,
what you got there? One
TD and 4 field goals.
Holy smokes!
1 TD and 4
Holy
field goals.
smokes.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Sean Cross for 5 says, just laid big guy to sleep. You're lucky it's not Tuesday because I would put big guy to sleep too. And big guy's you. I will see you next Tuesday. Sean Cross, Tyler Maxwell for 10, 27-17. Vols, no matter what, go big damn orange, because there isn't any good Georgia fans or players. The winners will be clad in orange and have them full of piss and vinegar. Best defense in the country. Thank you, Tyler Maxwell. Coach Jay, you're up next, brother. What's your pick?
When the season started, I picked Georgia to win this game, and I've never picked against Tennessee on this channel. I'm too much of a homer.
Have you really not? You never have?
No, I never have.
I love it. I love it.
I'm too much of a homer, man. My soul won't allow me to do it. So it's going to be a dark day when I finally do, but it's not going to be this day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be today. Listen, I see everyone saying Nico's listen is questionable, which I would expect. Like I said, with that timeline of Friday, it would be questionable now. And if he passes the next protocol, it'd be probable, right? So
Nico and Thornton both is questionable. They'll update it tomorrow.
They're both in concussion protocol.
That's just how it works. So that's no surprise to me there. I expect it to be questionable no matter what because of timeline. So that is what it is. I think this defense has been elite this year. I think we have our backs against the wall right now. I think this team does believe this is a must-win game, even if I don't necessarily think it is. I think we're going to see a feisty Georgia team at home at night with a feisty fan base that's fighting and scratching for their life, and they're not used to losing. And they're going to fight with everything they got in this one. I believe that. I think Tennessee wins this game. I'm going to go 30-27 double overtime win for Tennessee.
Whoa.
30,
double overtime.
30-27 double overtime win.
All right, I like that.
Boo Carter a late interception to seal it.
I want to add something real quick that I know we're for the wrap up.
Yeah.
You think about it, say, which we all predicted Tennessee to win. No, well,
I've not predicted anything.
Well, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You say what you're gonna say, and then I'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, you think about, say, Tennessee were to lose this game. You need, looking at the playoff picture, you hope Vanderbilt wins the rest of their games. You need them to go, win some games and then make that win look a little better. And then for us not to be considered an elimination game, I think you need some other things to fall into place for it to not to be. I'm not saying it would completely kick us out, but at the end of the day, I do think you're going to need some help to keep you in that spot. Because we've seen it. The committee's going to do anything in the willpower. We saw it Tuesday. We saw it yesterday with the way they ranked us. They're going to do anything in their willpower to keep Tennessee out of it. So go put out a good performance. Go win, and it all gets taken care of. If you lose, keep it close, and then that gives you the best chance other than winning, obviously. So we need some things to fall into place. That's the reason why I've seen several people say we're going to be eliminated. I do agree as of right now, just because the way they're reacting to what we saw last night. But there's still a path, even if we do lose. But it has to be. I can't say this enough. It has to be close.
We don't control our destiny.
No, we don't control our destiny. But it's got to be close.
It'd have to be close. It would have to be.
I don't think they're getting in, period. I think it's win or you're done. I think the College Football Playoff Committee laid it out. They said this is where it's at. If you all lose, you're on the outside looking in. They've already set Bama up to sneak in ahead of Tennessee. They don't care anything about head-to-head. All they care about is who you lost to, and it's all BS and excuses. You lost to an Arkansas team that's not very good, but then somehow everybody keeps hyping up Vanderbilt like there's some great team, Coach Jay. You were about to say something. Go ahead.
No. You kind of took what I was saying for the most part. I was going to say Also, at the very end of kind of what you said about Vanderbilt, that yeah, I hope for a close game for that reason. Part of me hopes not for a double overtime game, so I'm not like squirming on the floor like in anxiety and
Yeah.
screeching and
We'll all be on here red face,
dude.
like red face, elevated heart rate.
Can you imagine a double overtime
No,
win or loss? You would just be, oh, my heart, man.
I don't know
hope
that I
I'm
can
wrong.
survive it. I may die. I may die Saturday if that's the case, because I want this game probably more than anybody on God's green earth. Cody for 5 says the most important game of the year. FUGA Vols got this 100. Let's make Kirby blow up. I don't think it's just the biggest game of the year, man. I think it's the biggest game of Josh Heupel's career. I really do. I think that game against Georgia in 2022 was pretty freaking big. You're number 1 in the college football playoff. We all know what happened after you lost that game. So that kind of hindsight's always 2020, right? You can look back and say, well, if you had beat South Carolina, you would have still had a shot. But this one, man, it's like it's all in front of you. You know, if you win this game, you're going to Atlanta. You win this game, you're going to the college football playoff no matter what happens in Atlanta. If you play Texas or you play Texas A&M, oh, my God, give me Texas A&M. Can Texas A&M beat Texas and we see them in Atlanta? Like, sign me up for that. You got a shot at an SEC championship if you win on Saturday night. No matter what, you got a shot. This game means everything. And you all know how much I hate Georgia, but it's like that. Coach Jay, do you want to pull out your phone? You want to, like, full transparency? This is off the record. This is just what I said. This is not. We're winging it right now. You can read them the exact text. If you want to hold it to, well, be careful what you show.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You can just read it.
I was about to say. There's. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
You can pull up the phone and you can read like exactly what I said to you, my thoughts, how I feel about this game. I'll read this super chat while you do that. Will Brisk drops $2. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, it's going to be a second. I had to turn my phone on.
Oh, my God.
It's almost there. It's almost there. Hold for vectoring.
Killing a bit.
Hold for vectoring. Hold for vectoring.
While you're waiting,
okay. There
talk
you go.
about Georgia's injury report real quick.
Oh, please.
Trevor Etienne listed as questionable, and Cash Jones. So that's 2, and they already got one of their other running backs out. So they're like it. Depending on how that goes, we'll see how that ends up. I know Etienne's been dealing with the injury the last couple of weeks and been pushing through it. And Anthony Evans which is one of their slot guys, and then their backup right guard who's been playing for Tate Ratledge is listed as questionable as well. I thought I'd see a couple more injuries on the Georgia side with their offensive line, but
I'm surprised Tate Ratledge isn't listed on that.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he's not listed.
So we're definitely got some, I'd say 2 massive questions more than what they have. I know though Cash Jones and Trevor Etienne are pretty big for them. I know they can't use Cash Jones all over the field, but we need Dante Thornton and Nico to pass this concussion protocol. I mean, it's point blank.
This whole bit and segment got ruined. Go ahead, Coach.
I can read it now. I can't show it because there's some inside baseball about some stuff right next to it, literally. But Boogie's text to me is I've got a bad feeling about this game with or without him.
What did you say after that?
I said I'm kind of neutral right now, to be honest. Was my response.
I tell you what, the reason I have a bad feeling is because of Josh Heupel on the road. And we've all praised Josh Heupel for what he's done inside of Neyland Stadium. 24-4 home record. That's immaculate. That is like ridiculous numbers for Josh Heupel in Neyland Stadium. 24-4, 19 of the last 20. The only team you've lost to in the last 3 years in Neyland Stadium is Georgia. You're going to beat UTEP next week. So you're going to go 3 years inside of Neyland Stadium with only 1 loss. That's ridiculous. On the road, Josh Heupel is 7-8. He's lost more games than he's won on the road. And we can look back at history and that loss to Georgia in 2022 when you were number 1 in the college football playoff rankings. And it's like, man, what? But it was all a surprise. We were all stunned. It's like, holy smokes, this is happening faster than we thought. But I could live with that loss to Georgia because we hadn't closed the talent gap yet. But then you go to South Carolina and you lay an egg and you get embarrassed. And you can point to excuses and reasons. We could talk about Jeremy Banks and fights in the locker room. There's still no excuse. You can talk about Sports Talk Jay and his narratives. It's funny they call me Clickbait Boogie, but everything that Sports Talk Jay puts out is clickbait. Love you, Sports Talk Jay. But it's like, I don't care if they stole signs or not. You got embarrassed by Missouri last year. You lost to Arkansas on the road this year. And it's not just losing. It's how you lose. Your offense struggles. You score like 13-some points less per game. Georgia, 2022, you had 7 false starts. 7 false starts against Georgia in 2022. So, like, that is what I'm struggling with. I'm not struggling with whether or not Nico or Gaston Moore play. I've got all the confidence in the world.
4 turnovers in 22. Also, 2 interceptions by Hendon Hooker, as well as 2 fumbles by Hendon Hooker.
So I just look at history. I look at stats. I look at numbers, and I'm like, how can we find a way to win? And I get it. I understand we got a great defense, but I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, if this was in Neyland, I'm taking Vols all day long. But I tell you guys that I come on this channel and I speak my opinion, right, wrong, or indifferent. I speak truth. I speak what I believe to be the truth. And if people like that, they hate that. They've called me a Joe Milton lover, and they've called me a Joe Milton hater. They've called me a Negaval, and they've called me a sunshine pumper. That tells me that I come on here and I give my opinion, and I'm somewhere in the middle. But I've struggled all week long to feel like Tennessee can find a way to win on Saturday night. It's a night game. It's a night game. Coming off a loss. Georgia's coming off a loss. They're so full of piss and vinegar. But the only thing that I come back to is this right here. I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none. Dude, I want to drop an F-bomb on this channel so bad I can't see straight because FUGA stands for something, and y'all know what it stands for, and I cannot come on this channel that we have built from the ground up for the fans, by the fans, and come on here and pick the Georgia Bulldogs. So we are going to live on defense, an elite defense, but it's not elite. We couldn't stop the run. The hell it ain't. It is an elite defense. We got the best running back in the country. I don't care what the Heisman odds say, what the Heisman numbers say. I don't care what that kid at Boise State is doing. Bring him to the SEC and let's see what he can do because I don't think he is as good as Dylan Sampson. We're going to live on this defense. We're going to live on this running game. And I don't care if it's Gaston Moore, if it's Nico Iamaleava, if it's T. Martin or Peyton Manning or Condrich Holloway comes back and quarterbacks this football team, we're going to find a way to get it done because this team is one heartbeat. And when I see the way this team reacts, when it's Gaston Moore, that fires me up. When I see Joshua Joseph say they don't want none of this because we're the best in the country, Josh Heupel has created a culture unlike any other. Why not us? Why not now? We beat Florida. We beat Alabama when they said we couldn't. And maybe some of y'all in the chat said it too. But we can't beat Florida like this. We can't beat Georgia like this. Robert Tuck, I'm putting you on blast. But what I hear you saying is we can't beat Florida or we can't beat Alabama. And now I hear you saying we can't beat Georgia. The hell I did. I did not say that. Vols roll. Coach Rice may know what he's talking about because guess what? The magic number is 20. And nobody has scored 20 against this football team all year long. That's the number. We get to 20. They're at 17. Coach Rice may know a little something about Vols roll because that is all I know. And that's how we're going to end the show. I ain't got nothing else to say. They ain't got nothing else to say. Will Brisk for 5 says, send prayers. I'm going to the game sitting on the 50-yard line of the Georgia home side, rocking my orange. Vols by Fitty, for Dauber, for Coach Jay, for Coach Rice. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
That we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and